Hello, everyone. So, this is Sarika from Quill Audits. We are a leading Web3 cybersecurity firm. Have audited over 1,000 projects worldwide. And our audience can also catch us at ETH Denver if someone is attending. And I welcome you to our X space where we will be discussing the Bitcoin price surge and its future with our guest speakers Rajat, Anchit, and Prajnesh. So let's move on, and I will ask our speakers to introduce themselves, starting with Rajat.
Hey, hi everyone. Rajat this side. I'm the co-founder of Coil Audits, and I've been in this space since 2017. And like watching every cycle, like since 17, like there were also bull bear. Since then, we are watching this, and now current development also like so exciting. So like I will be happy to take the answers where whatever you have on the basis of data points, like what data point is currently suggesting and all. Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Rajat. Anchit, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks, Harika, for having me here. I am basically the founder for Ignavia Labs, and Ignavia Labs is focused on accelerating adoption of Web3 primarily through three initiatives. We have education, mentorship, and venture funding. And these days, we are working aggressively with students, colleges, universities, educating them about the basics of Web3, and at the same time, also focusing on Web3 security as a niche area in partnership with Quill Audits.
Thanks, Anchit, for introducing Navya Labs to our audience. Now, Prajnesh, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, good evening all. This is Prajnesh. I have been working with Quill from last 1 year as an analyst, and this is my second cycle. I'm in crypto from 2021, early 2021. So yeah, excited to.
I think Sarika, we have I think Chandan also in this call. He's a like Bitcoin OG and like co-founder of Router as well. So if you can make a speaker to Chandan and ask them also, that would be great.
Sure, Rajat, sure. I have sent the request to Chandan. Please join us and introduce yourself once to our audience, and we can begin.
Yeah, Chandan, if you are listening, can you please join? I think we can go ahead. I think he's not currently available. Yeah, maybe not in position to speak. Yeah,
Sure, sure. We can catch up if in between Chandan do Lucas get on the call. Great.
I think
I
he
guess
joined.
he's here. Yeah.
Hello. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, we can hear you.
Hi, guys. Thanks, Rajat. I just happened to see the podcast and I was excited to hear Rajat speak actually. So I'm Chandan, ex Router Protocol founder, okay, co founder of Router Protocol X. Now, yeah, I've been following markets. I've been a career trader. I've been following the cycle too. This is my third cycle, as someone said. Yeah. So, lot of good, lot is happening in this market currently.
Great, Chandan. Thank you for introducing yourself. So, let me ask you the first question to begin this. Starting with you, Chandan, what are your views on the current crypto landscape and the factors that influence Bitcoin surge to 64K and beyond? What do you think?
Where do I start? I mean, we all knew the ETF. I mean, since a year and a half, we all know the narratives that is following. Okay, that is halving and ETF. Now, it is predominantly these two factors, which is the reason we're seeing this price action. And 15 to, I mean, the bottom was made around 16, 17. A lot of weak hands, the bear market, a lot of FTX saga, this, that. So many so much of bloodbath happened. From there, it consolidated to 20, 25, 30,000. Okay, market just, it was there for like 8 months to 1 year. Then post that, it has just gone higher with higher lows and higher highs. Okay. So then the ordinals, everything related to Bitcoin space has worked. Okay. The best thing that could happen is the ETF approval. Post that, we did see a dip, but every dip was severely bought. Now what we are seeing is a mad rush. Okay. Mad rush into the space, mad rush into Bitcoin especially. We are already close to the all-time highs before the halving. So that's really, really significant. Rajat could help us with more facts. What on chain about more like on chain data and all the stuff. But price action wise, I've been technical trader. So price action wise, this you can easily see fresh money being put into the space. A lot of Web two, a lot of institutional money flow is coming in. You can see that. So these are the, I mean, predominantly this is the reason, and it's been extremely bullish. Yes, and we can only see after some consolidation, and if people are lucky, we'll see some correction maybe, but then it is only going to go higher. Considering we have another year and at least a year of bull market left.
I agree with you, Chandan. I guess we're going to go higher from here onwards. What are your views on this, Rajat?
Yeah, actually, it's Chandan already mentioned like we are also learning from Chandan a lot in past, right? As he mostly took directional bet all the time, yeah. So and his is intact on Bitcoin as well. Like Bitcoin is like I think as like Sailor said, like Bitcoin is the exit strategy. I think same for Chandan as well. But like that's really good. Like I'm learning from Chandan how we can take the directional bet on Bitcoin, yeah, any asset. So second part, like we are also focusing on the data points, like which we are watching currently, like on-chain inflow, outflow, and how was the like larger entities basically doing the cohort, like who are holding 1K to 10K BTC, who are holding more than 100 BTC, who are holding more than 10 BTC, and what's the current exchange inflow, what's the inflow on the Coinbase, what's the inflow on Binance. There is a lot of factors who are like giving us a signal in the like if like this kind of like swing trades like if you want to like as you can see currently like we are not mostly dependent on a single indicator but mostly we basically took the analysis of like was the like we have developed a framework internally and on the basis of that we are deciding like also we have defined the weightage of a particular indicator. So right now like I see like there is a correction clearly in this market like as Chandan said, the bull case is intact. Like ETF also like even on Wednesday there were on like 600 million inflow alone in a single day, largest so far. So ETF is going crazy, but also I think if they like most of the people were anticipating like 68 69K and in institutions as well they were taking bet for that key like that should be touched at least. Now most of these institutions like they are mostly taking long term bet but I think as funding rate going high interest rate also spiking but like that's it that could be a technical correction in the short term. Like I feel key there should be things also coming on like Fed FOMC like major where they will decide the further economic landscape for USA and like market mostly follow the things actually. Second is right, it's coming in March alone, and second is halving is also near like 30-40 days only. So I think the momentum is here. Not I think Bitcoin will be here below 69K for some time, but the future is good, right? As Chandan already said, if you are a like like if you are taking directional bet, yeah, if you are a cycle trader, then you should hold. I think if you are looking deeply, so you should also check what's the exchange flow and all of these info. And on the basis of that, I think there is a correction in the short term, but that would be a technical one and technical correction only like if you can see last in the last cycle there were 20-30% 40% correction were in the market but this time it's like because of the institution buying and if they are taking bet they are not taking for short term they are at least taking for some time frame and they are taking bet clearly you can see on the ETF inflow. So this is not institution is not here for short term at least like they wouldn't trade for 3 months 6 months but I think technically like who people are like who is like they are coming with like euphoria and they will be like and they are who they are coming with the leverage they will be wiped out only I can see here 5-10% correction maximum. Yeah.
Okay, Rajat, I see. So, Anchit, would you like to add something to this? What are your thoughts on this?
So I completely agree with what Chandan and Rajat already mentioned. I mean, since the ETF got approved, we have seen a rally of almost 50% from the levels of 42K to 64K now. And clearly, with more institutional adoption and retail participation, we can expect more rise in Bitcoin prices down the line. And with the SEC approval, it has provided a clear direction for people where they don't need to worry about ownership or wallet management or any security concerns. And as as Rajat mentioned, more and more money is flowing into the ETFs. So definitely down the line, the path is clear, but it's not going to be a one-way ride. I mean, people cannot expect that Bitcoin will just keep on jumping every day, every morning. They open their screens and they will see a 5-10% spike. No, it's not going to happen like that. It's never a one-way ride, and there will be some pain. There will be some pain, and what people need to really do is see if the primary investment thesis still holds. They should still continue to hold on to their investment and have the courage to wait for the right moment to liquidate their holdings.
I see. So, talking with you, Prajnesh, there is one thing that I read in an article which says that Bloomberg analysts predict that deriving from what Chandan said, that the Bitcoin ETFs will be surpassing the gold ETF prices. So, what are your thoughts on that, Prajnesh?
You were saying the Bitcoin ETF is surpassing gold ETF?
Yeah, it will be surpassing in close to 2 years. That's what the prediction says.
Okay, okay. Yeah, around, you see, current gold world market cap is around 11, 12 trillion. And, Bitcoin stands at around 1 trillion, around that segment. But, like, yeah, if you see the history, why current institutions are preferring Bitcoin, because there is a lot of centralization in the current fiat. So that will impact gold also. But Bitcoin is, it's been like proving that it's not that centralized, and the mathematical, the whatever the code they have, that is very robust. And that is why now we are seeing massive inflow of institutional fund. So if we take entire global market cap of all, including real estate, bonds, stocks, it would be around 200 240. So if we compare that, for next 30 40 years, even if even if we saw 20% of world market cap inflow in Bitcoin, that would be like 2 3x of gold ETF, gold global market capitalization. you know like lot of money will flow, in our coming years. Real estate has 100 trillions of market cap. And we see that there is, in 2008 there is a big burst in real estate, because there is a cap, there is no cap in supply, so they can create as much as derivatives they want. So but in crypto, in Bitcoin, especially in Bitcoin, there is a cap for the supply. So we can't mint more than 21 millions of Bitcoin. If we see the same momentum, if this momentum continues, so we will beat the gold market capitalization in 2 3 years. If Bitcoin reaches like 1 million, it will cross the gold ETF market capitalization in the next cycle. This is my wild guess.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that makes sense to me, Prajnesh. I agree. So, moving on to next question, Anshit, can we expect Bitcoin to maintain its current momentum, or are there some indicators that suggest that the Bitcoin is priced in, as many researchers have predicted?
So long term, there is definitely higher targets in place, but looking at the short term price movement, I mean, speaking technically, since I do some technical analysis, I the RSI currently is about 88, and RSI at this level for Bitcoin, we have seen it very rarely. So chasing it from here looks like a very late trade. I mean, people who are now expecting that they will get into the Bitcoin and prices will again jump 30-40%, I think it would be a very late decision for them. There is a good resistance in the 65 to 69K zone, and there is a high possibility that we might see a final push to new all-time high somewhere around 69 70K. but then there could also be an immediate sharp drop in prices of about 15 to 20%. So at this level, in my personal view, it could be a very late trade, but on a long-term perspective, definitely there are higher levels in place.
Okay, okay. So, following what Anchit said, what do you think, Rajat? Will we see a final push to only 70K or will the Bitcoin will cross that? Hello, Rajat?
I think you need to add him as a speaker.
Can I take the question? Meanwhile,
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
see, there are many, like currently, there are many tailwinds for Bitcoin rally. Major one is as like speaker said, ETF. That to spot ETF. See, we had a ETFs that was future ETFs earlier, but now we have a spot ETF. So whoever the institutions, like if the in their clients they are buying their ETFs, institution should have same they should have back of real bitcoin, so they're draining the supply of bitcoin from the market. So currently if we see see from from last 1 month, every day we are seeing net positive inflow. Like we have around 8 institutions, they are offering spot ETFs. Out of it, only GBTCs, they are selling it, they're exiting. So we don't know the exact reason why they are exiting. Like there could be many reasons. So GBT has higher higher fee compared to their peers, so they have a higher fee. So maybe their clients are looking for lesser fee, like IBTC, which is offered by BlackRock and all. So that could be the reason. And GBTC also, it was trading, trading at a discount when we had that Luna crash, all that crash in back in 2022. This GBTC was trading almost 50% discount. So people who were entered at that time, they might be taking their position. But currently, if we continue the same flow, like if we saw the around 500 or 400 plus million dollars of inflow every day, I think we will sustain this rally. Like except we may get some hiccups like 10%, 15%, we may get some hiccups, but as long as this continues. And there is one more catalyst, like we have a you know from last 6 months, Nasdaq is making a higher high, SPX is making a higher high, dollar is also keeping quiet. And there is a high probability of Federal Reserve, they are cutting the interest rate in this year, maybe in October, November. So if the all these things, you know if all these things continue as they are, then I think we will see the continuation of this rally, because money is coming from outside. Like earlier there was some internal rotation from altcoin to bitcoin. So earlier also there was some inflow from outside, but not like not at a current magnitude. We are seeing like after Bitcoin launched, we had like seen like 7 billions. Like after Bitcoin ETF launch, we saw around $7 billion of inflow on spot Bitcoin.
Pushing the price in a negative direction or a positive direction? Like, what do you think of that?
See, I mean, Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in general, as a investment, I guess there's no problem across the world. So that is status quo. Now, on the regulatory front, what has happened for the positive is the ETF approval, and we are also moving expecting Ethereum ETF to get approved in coming months. So the ETF approval takes the whole Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in general, mainstream. Now, as I guess Prajnesh or someone was saying before, giving the stats as to the asset classes and the market caps. So I always believe in Bitcoin, just like you see in any industry, category creation, right? Okay, so in asset classes in general, you might say in centuries there's not a new asset class that is born. Otherwise it's the same, currencies, equities, commodities, and bonds or whatever. Okay, first time ever a new category creation of asset class is born. Now it is with this regulatory framework, with now it is slowly from purist, okay, from being just a technical white paper or technical subject or technical thing, it gained adoption between the purist because of its decentralization and its economics. Okay, now with time, now it has become so big, that that mainstream regulators, are accepting it. Okay, so it is only going to go higher. It is only going to go higher, and the lot of money are on the fence just because of regulation. Now, if you see, data can be thrown by someone else here, but typically till date, okay, it is the purest money, or the parallel world money, or the retail money, okay, flowing into the cryptos. Actual money was still on the sidelines, and that is the regulated money, or that is the hedge fund money, that is the pension fund money. Okay, and they always needed a, that cannot come, they cannot put that money unless and until there is regulation clarity. So the ETF is very, very significant. You don't need any other thing actually. Okay, this itself will take a lot of time to digest. Okay, lot of market cap will be added just with this ETF itself.
You're definitely correct. The regulatory developments have pushed the crypto assets into mainstream, but we are yet to go far, very far, because only Bitcoin right now is developing into seeing such price surges, right? So
Right.
following now, moving on to new next question. Rajat, this is to you. So let's say during the bull run that is upcoming, or maybe we are already in one, right? We are just moving forward to the tip of it. So during this bull run, malicious actors will also rise, and so will the scam activity. So, how do you differentiate the right crypto asset and avoid falling prey to the scams? What are your views on that?
Yeah. So, like my point of view on this, right? You should always check contract details. Basically, if contract is authentic, there is few tools also in the market. So, and you should also proper check on the BC side. Like they always validate like who they are. You should also check the project update, progress, and the fundamental things. Right? You can most of the research firms also publish their report, you can see for now, like Binance Research also publishing reports, right? CMC also publishing. So you should read, and you should also check you should do also the background check, and don't fall into any narrative. Like there is multiple narrative: AI, L1, L2, BTC, DeFi. So but most of the people also, they will also try to convince you they are also a part of a narrative, so but don't fall into them, because maybe they are running like scams, like honeypots. So their contract, maybe you can put money and it will be never back in your wallet. So you can utilize multiple tools in this market to the most fundamental things is currently arising is like a contract. Everything is fine, like everything is on the basis of that. You can see in the market like team is good but intention is not good inside. So you should properly check. Like we have also developed a tool like quill check, right, where you can also just copy and paste the contract code and get the full report regarding a contract. Maybe they are running honeypot, maybe they are running something a scam, maybe they are running some ponzi's, right? Maybe there is no liquidity, they might be trapped into your liquidity scam. Like you already bought the token, but what if like there is no liquidity, you can't sell your token. So there is multiple kind of things which you need to decide, you have to decide, and always go for the background check, always go for the BC check. Maybe they are raising fund 2-3 million, don't fall into this trap actually, because they might be like a part of the ecosystem. Like they all together doing a scam, like many times it happened, right? So that's why we also like this, like all of these investors, all of the retail users who are actively investing on, especially on launch pads, like daily, like almost 10, 15, 20, 50 IDOs happening across the globe on the multiple launch pads, but no one is authenticate them, because you can see like they can just deploy their contact code, they will just pay the fee, but no one go for the background check. Maybe they can also give the auditing report, but auditing report doesn't where it's coming from, right? It's coming from the a player, it's coming from the like auditing report is all about technical. Like if there is technical glitch, we are not in this contract. Maybe like if they are like giving the auditing report from a company, like they are not checking fundamentals as well. Like you can see there should be two kind of scam. One is algorithmic fundamental error. Maybe team were not able to develop properly the like what they want to. Second is like maybe they are doing intentionally something on the back end. So maybe auditing firm, most of the auditing firm in this market is also like they are supporting these projects, and you will fall into trap like this project is audited by some good firms, but they are not actually. They are just like running a ecosystem of ponzi's, and they you might be fall into this. So always aware, right? Just go for the audit reports if it's coming from the a players in this industry. Just go for the tools like quill check for dd. There's also maybe another tool, like you can also go for the nonsense, right? For the inflows, like maybe some wallet were illicitly like participated in the ponzi schemes earlier. Maybe it's coming from the other ponzi scheme, so you can just track the inflow. They are also labeling these wallets. You can also you always check like how much supply they are how much supply is team is controlling basically. So you can check on this like what's the inflow outflow for a particular coin, what's the team ratio. You can also check on etherscan as well. There is multiple tools in this market, free and paid also as well. You can also see the protocol is earning revenue or not. You can just go for the you can check the fee like crypto fee info. These are kind of website. You can check token terminal, what's the price sales ratio, how much they are earning, how much their TVL, authentic TVL. Maybe some people are also running scam, right? They will put $100 million, but it's coming from a single party. So these kind of things you must be aware from them. So this is my like advice for everyone. Thanks.
Yes, that makes sense. So, following with what Rajat said, Anshit, do you have any go-to strategies to differentiate between business logic glitches or intentional malicious activity within the code or the token that you are investing in? What are your like, what do you do before investing in a token?
So Rajat has already, I mean, I would say, given a good highlight of the key things one should watch out for. I would just like to emphasize more on the fundamental aspect of the team. I mean, it's very important to know who are the people behind a particular project, whether they are fully dedicated, invested into the project or not, and whether there are some real people whose identity are known or not. And one could always, do some quick searches to that. Secondly, it's also good to do some checks on the community side. I mean, there are projects where you will see that they have lot big community size, big followers on Twitter and so, but you see that there's hardly any engagement, hardly any interaction. The community is not active at all, and that clearly raises a red flag that these numbers are not the real. So unless and until there is a good organic community for a project, it is very difficult for the project to sustain in the long run. So any investor, they should always look for some organic adoption for a project, organic participation and activeness in the market.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Anshit. Rajneesh, would you like to add something to it? Anything that you personally suggest?
Like major points are covered, and like if we study the tokenomics, there also you will get some idea. And and what they're building is very important. Like there are times when they are solving the problem that that's already been solved. They're just grifting, they're just taking the advantage of that narrative. And they're just they wanted to make some money. They will launch their own token and all. So you like if we are keep up with all the update, based on the things on what they're building, and you will also get an idea based on their tokenomics, how they are unlocking it, and what procedure and what procedure they have to slowly offload their tokens? Are they doing any OTC to slowly dump the price like token, or are they right away dumping the token like by impacting the price? So these all will give you some soft clues. Like other than if it is a new token, newly contract, then we have a tool. We have a lots of tool to check whether it's a honeypot or something. But if you are investing long term, you are more likely to look in the project that are listed on like tier 1 tier 2 exchanges. For that you need to know, yeah, you need to know the narrative, you need to know the technology and all, at least basic levels of understanding, or else you
Hmm.
will be backholding for cycles.
Okay. Got it, Prajnesh. Got your idea on that. So, following question from you only. Prajnesh, what do you think are the potential technological advancements or challenges that could affect Bitcoin's price or adoption, mass adoption in the upcoming months that you might be following personally?
So for Bitcoin, like earlier we saw huge adoption in Ethereum because of there are many dApps are building on Ethereum. So that thing were lacking like in the last cycle. It was not that accentuated, like people didn't know, wasn't much developers who were building on Bitcoin. But now we have a many technology, like we have a L1 stacks that is on Bitcoin. Now ordinals are coming, ordinals are also making noise. And there are lots of NFTs that are that are minting on Bitcoin network. So these small things will propagate and it will help the sustainability of Bitcoin ecosystem. So you know if there is a huge high activity in Bitcoin network, even if in future, even if all the Bitcoin got created, then because of this transaction gas fee, miners will get so miners ecosystem, miners will, if miners gets rewarded, they will secure the system. So whatever development that's been happening from last 1 year, that is good. There are people who are building decks on Bitcoin network, and all this technology will help. It will make a Bitcoin ecosystem robust in the long run.
I see. Okay. So, following what you said, Prajnesh, Anchit, do you have something to suggest here in terms of technologies that can influence Bitcoin price in upcoming quarters?
So on the technology side, I mean, not specifically talking about Bitcoin, but I would say there are definitely other ecosystems which are very promising. I mean, it would be good for investors to look into Ethereum as well as Solana. When we were talking about ETF approvals, I mean, ETF approvals have already happened, and we could see more countries choosing the same path. Similarly, there is a high expectation of Ethereum ETF approvals to happen sometime mid of this year or later this year, and that could, really provide a big jump in Ethereum prices. And then Solana is other currency where I am personally bullish on. Technologically speaking, we do see a good scaling up happening on Solana, and there are good number of projects coming up in areas like Deepins, RWAs, DeFi offerings on Solana, and that's really making the growth of Solana much more respectable, and I would say it's putting it in a unique position for growth down the line. So areas like, I mean, deepens, RWA, restaking, these are some of the areas where I am personally very bullish on for this year.
Got it, Anchit. Rajat, would you like to add something to what Anchit and Prajnesh?
Yeah, Anchit and Prajna is mostly covered. My thesis is mostly focused like there are multiple narrative currently, like L1, L2, RWA, AI, Gamify, BRC20, Deepin, again, privacy coins, meme coins, like LSD5, LRTs, NFT5. So these are the most hyped narrative currently in this market. I would like to mostly focus on the basically on the L2, and ecosystem enabler like DA layer, basically TIA. And why? Because like these are making Ethereum, these are helping to make Ethereum scalable. Even Polygon also launching aggregation layer. So like I don't much like I don't much hope from any other platform. Like currently mostly focus on Polygon and OP stacks ecosystem, because I think with the Solana there is a outage issue with a single state of machine, right? Where like if there will be thousands of transactions in millions of transactions will happen in like within seconds, then always like Solana chokes. So that's why like there is a single super state machine who is handling all of these transactions. That's why I differ from the like completely don't like opinion difference with the like Solana community actually. But I'm mostly focused on OP, like where Coinbase is promoting a lot. Like base chain is a part of the OP stack, right? Everyone like if you see the OP thesis is like a bomb hole, everyone will be go to the, because most of the institutions are like taking custody from Coinbase alone. They will also come to build something like as BlackRock, Kevin Larry, I think BlackRock CEO. I don't remember the name. I think Larry. I think something like this. So he's also promoting tokenization a lot. So most of the company also institutions like corporate companies will come to develop. Like recently, Franklin Templeton launched their I think bond tokenization, yeah, kuch some RWA on Polygon as well. So they will come and they will select the layer who will be the player here, right? Who can tap this community, corporate and institution community, and you can see the ETF effect already. So I think Coinbase aligned with the like if Coinbase build the tolling system for OpenStack, so and then it will be easy, and they are developing, and it makes sense for Coinbase as well. Like they have 125 million user across the globe. They can just post to the like earlier you can see like BSC and Tron were in hype in the last cycle. Why? Because like they were the correlated with the exchange, mostly internal part of the exchange, like Binance, and like BSC was the part of Binance. And now this is like OP Stack is the part of Coinbase currently, directly related with Edge. There is a like fee sharing ecosystem as well. But also like there is like wormhole type of like Cosmos. You can see like multiple chain will build, they can build their chain on OP Stack, and they can also make a interoperable layer in between them, and it will mostly come from the US side. And second concept is aggregation layer, like Polygon is like winning in all of these because of the like GK thing, like in the GK EVM, but Polygon achieved so far and aggregation layer, and like that's commendable, and no one is like nearby as well. So for L1 L2 my thesis is like this, and for other like mostly I will focus on the Eiger layer, TIA, like enablers of this ecosystem, Avail platform. So these are mostly, even I will focus on the layer 3 on gaming side, like XAI recently launched layer 3 on Arbitrum. That's like because gaming community wants like most scalable blockchains currently, which is not still like 2 3 TPS we are at here. Ethereum also gonna to launch some scalable like sardine kind of thing, then whole dollar bill makes sense later. In the DeFi, I would like to focus on the Pendle and all, like where like you can maximize the yield, and you can get the like good returns on your crypto, on the top of your crypto as well. So these are like mostly my like focus area currently. Yeah, thank you.
Got it, Rajat. Thank you for sharing the good technology and advancement that were happening in the Web3 space. So now, frankly, asking to all our three speakers, starting from you, Rajat, if you were to name a price that Bitcoin would break frankly by the end of this year, what would that be?
Yeah, yeah. So like in terms of price, like huge, there were, if you see, if you ask in the last year, I if you will check my thesis on the like generally I follow the smart money, was the cohorts are doing, right? Cohorts like who are holding currently 1 to 10 BTC, 10 to 100 BTC, and 100 to 1000 BTC, what they are doing actually. Second was like how is like Fed is going ahead, right? Inflation rate and all, right? So with the inflation rate, like earlier inflation, you can see the last stop was made around like when Fed announced QT, and they announced like they will increase the rate, and they I think almost in a year rate was almost around 5%. So that's affected a lot of global liquidity. So Bitcoin is now, if you see, simple parameter. If global liquidity increase, then Bitcoin pump always. All noise aside, you can just follow this indicator. Where is global liquidity? Global liquidity means what was the currently the supply of the major country, like from US, China, and major economy, sorry, top 5 economy, top 10 economy, you can watch. And the few percentage of this directly coming to Bitcoin, as they want to be like safeguard against the government and government protections, maybe institution, maybe some individuals, right? Second is, if you, this is happening, right, so you can track them all of these on chain, right, on the basis of cohort, right? If there is like 1 to 10 cohort, like you can see my thesis recently I retweeted as well. In January 2023, like there were a lot of people like in between 10 to 100 BTC, but buying, straight buying. So, and Bitcoin was trading at that time around 18 to 20K. So now you can see the effect. Now that was the on chain. Now you can also track the ETF. ETF also came in this scenario, and like huge inflow also coming on. But my bet is like a short term correction will be there, because a lot of like cohorts, like if you see Bitcoin, Bitfinex whales also reducing their long position as well. You can see clearly on the chart, and also these cohorts also reducing their position, which they do like time to time on the basis of that. But if you, I see ETF inflow here. So the like it, if you see the ETF inflows, so like largest inflow so far in the last like 500 million, 600 million so far. But if inflows goes down and these cohorts is still selling, yeah, still like Bitcoin to the exchanges, then there could be, and that's the narrative around the halving only. So halving is coming. That's why a lot of people are tapping. Like as there were a person like I like to add fuel in fire. So the same thing is happening currently. This is the last. Maybe meme coins are also pumping. Meme coins attract retail to dump on them. Always, very clear. But it might be a short term. If ETF inflows continuously going on, there might be a 5-10% dip. If after halving, I have to see like inflows, if ETF inflows coming consistently, maybe it like Fed decision, maybe due to the Fed decision, maybe inflation rate going high again, because recently data also come due to this. Yeah, second is maybe Fed is starting QT continue, maybe they can also increase the rate. So I have to see the ETF inflow. What I am like explaining all of these indicators, because I don't believe in targets. I believe in basically data. So I cannot give to anyone any target. I can give the data points on the basis of that. You can decide itself. So after having, I have to see like there is consistent inflow from the ETF or from these cohorts. Then I would like to review my thesis again. But I think there is a, before having, yeah, after having, there is a correction due already, like 20-30%. It might be happening. ETF inflows is not there. Yeah. Thank you.
Got it, Rajat. Got it. So, following now, moving on to Prajnesh, what do you think? What would you name a fair price for Bitcoin to break by the end of this year?
Yeah, like I do, like even I'm also like I don't have any target, but people say like we could go more than 130K, like by the cycle, and we could touch 200K and all. But I don't know, like I don't know how they take that random number and all. But I think this next, for next 2 years we will see some retarded rally in BTC and across the board. Like not all, there might not be, old altcoin might not catch up, but the one that new listed or one that has a good narrative, like real world asset, that tokens that are linked to AI, these may do very well. And also token that are launched by Binance, Launchpad, Launch Pools, the and meme coins especially like Doge. Currently, if you see a new one like WIF, Bonk, all these new meme coin, they will see some, multiple x growth. That's the use case. The major use case of the altcoin is to make money for retailers or for in general, market in general. But people say we will touch 200K, 190K. but I can't wrap my head around it. Like how I don't know how they take that number. But we will. I think we will see some good rally. But I don't have any number, exact number.
Got it, Rajneesh. Anchit, do you have anything to say on this?
So, I mean, liquidity is definitely going to play a big role as to how the market will move down the line. As Chandan was mentioning earlier, I mean, there is a lot of money which is waiting on the sidelines to enter into this market. And if we do see more ETF approvals coming up, not only in the US, but in other countries, say like Hong Kong or ETH, ETF approvals, we can definitely see much more money flowing into the markets. Talking specifically about Bitcoin, very difficult to be honest to put a number, but psychologically speaking, I personally am looking at 100K level as the first target to hit, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Clearly, as Rajat mentioned, closer to the halving, we could see a good dip. It could be before the halving or immediately after the halving. There would be some consolidation, and then people would be waiting for the next trigger, right? Which could really create that more demand for Bitcoin. So it's a scenario to watch out. One thing is definitely clear that there is a new bull run which has started for Bitcoin. We'll see where it takes us.
Okay, Anchit, thank you for your take on this. So now moving on to the community questions. First is, let's ask from Anchit only. Anchit, in 2022, Bitcoin experienced a decline of around 20 to 25% after the halving. So, as you already mentioned, that we will see a dip. So, what do you think? What will the percentage that we can see and expect in the 2024 halving?
So the last halving was 4 years back in 2020. It is a 4 year cycle, and yes, if you look at the historical charts, definitely closer to the halving there was a consolidation. But after that consolidation, there was a good jump in pricing because you have to look at the triggers, right? Right now, before January, everyone was look aiming for the Bitcoin ETF approval. Now that is done already in place, and now everyone is looking at halving as the next event. What after that, right? So I, as of now, do not see any major trigger. Of course, there could be things happening around the repetition of the same approvals in more countries and so on. So clearly, there will be some people, there will be some profit booking happening, there will be people liquidating their positions. So it's never a one-way ride. There will be dips, there will be sharp dips happening. It all depends on the investment horizon which a particular person has. And like I was mentioning before, if the primary investment thesis holds and if anyone has the capacity, they should continue to hold the asset.
Got it, got it. So, moving on to next question from Rajat. Is Bitcoin's growth here to support the decentralized future, or are we just witnessing another bull run driven by profit motives?
Yeah. So if you see the data points, if you see the market cap of top 20 coins in 2017, and you see the market cap of top 20 coins in 2021, like the coin were in that list actually. So in 2017, like I think out of this list, there were only one, two, I think maximum three coins were in the like 2021 top 20 list. Now, if you see again, like the in this 2024 bull run, there are like almost 10, 12 coins who were in like first 20. So the market is like maturing itself, right? And BTC ETF comes like BTC is purely like playing a decentralized narrative. Why? Because the like why it's like promoting decentralization as well, because most of the countries print, like there were a thesis like I have also written in past, like Zimbabwe, like Nikhil Kamath from Jiroda also posted ki like Zimbabwe was like able to recover due to the USD, right? What like what if USD fail? So that's the like, and USD might fail easily in, but it's not that much easy, like, but it might be fail in next 20, 30, 50 years of time of span because of the maybe debt trap, maybe something like they are controlling, because they almost print 3.1 trillion in the COVID time. That's coming like from directly from government, and government exporting inflation to their peoples. So that's a vast thing, right? Like you can't export. You can see if in India, like almost growth is also going good, and but inflation, if you see in last 3 years, almost things are 2x, right? So who will be able to control now? USD is in like 38 country reserve also sitting. So whenever USD also like they are printing USD, is they are directly exporting inflation to the other country as well. So that's the major problem, like that's why like country like El Salvador also keeping PTC. That's a small country, but that's a good initiative you can see in the long term, because like there should be a standard which could be independent now. Like as I mentioned, like 38 country keeping their reserve in USD, they are dependent on USA, but it should not be like that. There should be a clear a currency where like even in India, Indian government RBI can put, if they are putting money in gold, the same property Bitcoin owns. And someone asked like, what would be the next play? Also, I think Lightning network also deployed and doing good, and that will be the second part. Like there are like two part of this currency, store of value and payment. Now coming to your question, because as like Bitcoin did, now Ethereum is also giving a good platform, scalable and all. Earlier people were complaining about the like there is not scalability and all, but now scalability is there, right? Now users is not there because of the UX. So UX we have to, like most of the people smart mind I know, they are working to solve the UX, because most of the apps are developer friendly currently in this space. They are not user friendly currently. How you can onboard billion users, everyone is telling, but no, how many were able to achieve earlier? This is the challenge, and we are just moving from web 2 to web 3. You can say it's centralized to decentralized, slowly. There is many, like many apps, right? You can see, like we currently invested in book technology. What they are doing, you can resell your booking, either it's in plane, either it's in hotel. Because I also like most of the time you guys also feel ki like if you are planning for something and you book the hotel and you can't cancel later, but there is no button for the cancel. You can resell in the open market, which is possible through the NFT. And NFT adoption is itself by in world, if there is a top 100 brand, out of these 54 brands are already launched their collection, NFT collection. So we are going slowly, but now this bull market, like money is coming in flow. You can see the progress in every single bull market. Every time there was some solution, and as I mentioned, like top 20 market things, you can see. So these apps or apps also getting the validation in this market. And there are also narrative coming tokenization. You can tokenize everything. Like if you want to buy a piece in USA, right, land of piece of land, right? How you can buy currently? There is a lot of issues and centralization issues, regulatory issues. That's possible due to the tokenization. We have developed platform tokenic in past in 2017, right? 18. If you see our website, Coil, so you will find it out. So that was quite early, but now you can see the progress here. Like Franklin Templeton is tokenizing itself, and Compound Finance is tokenizing the bond, a US government bond. That's a massive thing, and a lot of use cases are coming. Only we have to solve the UX part. If we can solve the UX part, then it would be easy to onboard the Web2 users. And application and use cases is clearly there. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you, Rizit, for your views on this. Prajnesh, would you like to add something to it?
So the question is like the current regime, what's happening? This will
Yeah,
improve the
like what do you
decentralization of Bitcoin or
let me
general market?
let me rephrase it. So, what do you think about the larger consequence for the entire Web3 ecosystem that are dependent due to this Bitcoin sudden surge in the prices?
Okay. See, earlier, like Bitcoin was believed by only some of the liberalists, like early 20, like 2011, 12, those type. Currently, so when that was the case, Bitcoin was held by like individuals. Currently, that that thing, that regime is changing. The decentralization happen when the general people, when many small entities, small individual people, when they are buying at a small chunks, then it will be a decentralization. Or else, if any institution or if any entity, they are cornering most of the supplies, so that is not that decentralized. The in ETF, it is it is good for us as a market participant. And because at the current valuation, any normal retailers or normal people, they can't move the market, you know that market cap of 1 or 2 trillion. So for that, we need country to participate, country, different nations should FOMO. So on that aspect, for us, for as a participant, whatever the development is going on now, that is good. But for the narrative of decentralization, in the long run, this, many big institutions are cornering major supply of bitcoin is not good, as a decentralized base. But in the but if price goes up, for as an industry, as a technology wise, if price goes up, that is a marketing. So that will attract many developers, many smartest people on the earth to build something here, in a decentralized way. Whenever price goes up, that is good only, because that will attract the mind share, that will attract the talent to this industry. So in the long run, it's good. But whatever happening currently because of ETF, that is ETF, or thing we are seeing in Ethereum. There are many entities, they have most of the stake Ethereum. So that is also not that good in a in a decentralized way. But whatever price that going up, that is good, because that will attract the talent, that will attract the investors. Investors will risk their money, and they will put that money into the innovative founders. That founders will build something that is very decentralized, that is that will do some public good. So this is my take.
Got it, Prajnesh. Got it. Thank you. That was the last question from our community. So I guess we can wrap up now. I would like to thank Rajat, Anchit, Prajnesh, and Chandan. I guess he had to leave in between, for your time and thoughts on Bitcoin sudden price surge and future advancements that we can expect in the crypto space. Also, I would like to thank our audience and community partners, that Namespace, EduHub, and Mentored, for their engaged support for this session. I guess you can drop off and we will see you next time. Thank you.